Welcome everybody, a new transmission of the first virtual book fair USA. Today from USA, the writer Manuel Nava Leal present their books. Presenter Libertad Betancourt. Go ahead, please.
Thank you so much, Sandra Vasquez. She's an angel, always helping in backstage. Thank you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, all around the world. I am so excited. Thank you, Cesar Salvatierra and Nalan Morales. They are our co-founders of the first virtual book fair in United States of America. They started in Peru after we had the fair in Mexico, Argentina, Colombia, Spain, Italy, United Kingdom, and now in our home, in our land. I say it's my land. Manuel is our guest. Manuel Leal is a writer, but I didn't born here. He born here in United States, right? You born
yes,
here.
I was born in Texas.
But it's my country too. Texas is my country.
Yes, it is. Welcome.
Thank you.
To have you here.
Thank you so much. Welcome to this space, Manuel. My name is Libertad Betancourt. I'm a cultural ambassador of writers in America and in Europe. Okay, now we are going to be focusing you in your books, in your material, in your career, in your written words. Tell us, first of all, say hello for everybody all around the world.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate the attention that you're bringing my way today. Libertad, you're doing a fantastic job. I love that. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I am I'm a poet. But I'm primarily just a writer. I write plays for the theater. I've been involved with theater for over 40 years. I started writing poetry when I was a child, telling stories as well. I was a storyteller before I was a writer. And I always dreamed of becoming a writer. I expressed that desire to my mother when I was very young. And she had no idea how to help me. And in school, no one there was able to help me either. I would go around asking, and no one knew. And at first I was an angry child because no one would help me, not realizing until later, after I've matured some, that they couldn't have helped me because they had no idea how. And rather than admitting that they didn't know how to provide assistance, they ignored me. And it's tough when you're an adult and you don't want to show a little side of ignorance, even though, I mean, it's best to admit that you don't know. I've never not helped others that have helped me. I tell them straight out, I may not know what it is, how to help you, but I'll do my best to find a way. And as a result, I created a publishing company, and now I'm assisting other writers in publication of their books, which is a dream come true for me, because I made a vow when I was young that if I was ever in a position of assistance, I would do my best to do so. And so that dream came true for me, and I'm making dreams come true for others as well. Thank you.
Wow, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you for sharing with us. And how many books do you have, Manuel?
6 books that are mine, and one that is that I curated. It's called the Pandemic Poetry Anthology.
Explain to us what is curator for people that they don't know what it is.
Okay, certainly. Curator is basically compiling the poetry that's submitted, choosing the best of all submissions. I wish I could include all submissions, of which we could, but some of them obviously needed quite a bit of help. And when assistance is offered to some people, they refuse to accept it. I have to exclude them, unfortunately, because I want a quality product to come out. I want a product that people will enjoy and share with others as well. And so it's a difficult task especially when you have to reject writers. Honestly, it hurts me to reject anyone, but assistance was offered and it wasn't accepted.
He's not like the government that you are my friend, come to work with me. No, poetry, literature is different.
It is extremely different. But we managed to include 100 poems. I edited quite a few of them. Some assistance that was required because I would say that more than 90% of the people that submitted their poems had never written a poem before. And I state very clearly that if I may, let me read the back cover. I write on here, this historic project has been at times difficult, at others sorrowful, but above all, joyful. Entries are at times simple and sublime, yet all informative, personal. We have heard from those who suffer, the fearful, the inquisitive, the prayerful, and the playful. We were honored to have received so much encouragement and love from many contributing poets. Those who had never written poetry before may now call themselves poets. It's fantastic. It's fantastic.
Wow,
and we've gotten an
nice.
excellent response. And we're looking at some more books because we're raising funds to help a student in nursing with monies so they can continue their studies.
Tell me next time I want to be in one of your anthologies.
Yes, of course. Thank you. I'm sorry that you missed out.
If I qualify.
Oh, I'm sure you qualify. I've seen you not only do this, but I've seen you perform your work and the work of others, and I'm fascinated. Very good, excellent work. So yes, of course, I would love to have your poems in my book, in our book.
Thank you, Manuel. I want to know more about you. When you were a little, it's a question that I'm including now in my interviews in this fair, because I think when you are little, you have characteristics, the personality, the temperament that is really clear. If we paid attention, parents, we can know what is going to be our kid when he will be older, and our job is support them, not decide what they are going to do. It's just support them to fly. My question is, how was Manuel when he was a little, and if your dreams si lograste, ¿cómo se diría? Si lograste tus sueños. Exactly.
Succeeded, yes. Yes, as I said, I was always telling stories. I can remember telling stories since before I could write. I don't know where it came from. I feel like, the universe has given me this ability. God has provided me this gift, this talent. And I don't recall the first time that I started telling stories, and my mother would say, "Eres mentiroso, you're a liar." And I'd say, no, there's a difference between lying and telling stories. And she didn't seem to understand or want to understand, but it's okay. Grew up in different cultures. She was from Mexico, I was from here. I don't know how to explain it, but you're absolutely right. When we see our children's passion, not necessarily a talent, but a passion and a desire for something in particular, we need to focus that attention for them, to help them, to see for a fact if it is something that they truly desire and love. Once we have determined that, yes, that's their passion, then we have to do our best to guide them in that direction. To find other sources if we ourselves cannot help others. But the power of the word is so influential in everything that we do. I mean, it encompasses communications of all manners. I found it easy to tell stories. I was not a very popular child. I was more of a loner. I've always liked being alone, to be contemplative, to think. I enjoy solitude. I really never had a lot of friends around me. one or two at the most, and they never lasted too long. I guess they couldn't stand my personality. I don't know what it was, but I've always enjoyed telling stories. And once I was able to write, I tell people I was born with pencils for fingers because I automatically wanted to do that, to write.
Oh, it's very nice. I want to confess you, one of my dreams when I was a little, I loved to watch TV when I was young. Now, no, when I was a little, but I saw very good programs. But oh, one of my dreams was, I remember Cristina Pacheco. I don't know if you know
I know
her.
her. I know who she is.
She entrevista many artists, people
Yes.
about culture, and it was my dream. She was the wife of Emilio Pacheco, the excellent writer in Mexico, and she was my idol. I was not dreaming to interview artists or no models, no art writers. And look at that, what I'm doing right now.
You're
and
doing it. You're
very important
dreaming
people
too.
like you. Yeah, okay. And
I'm
I
happy
want,
for you.
thank you. And more of my dreams now are come true. When you were a little, do you remember Burbujas?
Burbujas.
Uh-huh.
Jokes? Or
No,
what?
no,
I don't understand
Burbujas is it was like a program for
Oh,
kids.
no. I was never
No.
really much into television myself, and I still am not into television.
No.
I'll see movies. I might see.
Yeah, me too. Now TV
something,
now. No,
I'm
no,
not
no.
attracted to it.
Yeah.
Although I do write
Depends.
scripts. I do write scripts, and
For
hopefully someday we'll
TV.
be watching something from me on TV.
The problem is not TV. The problem is the material, the contenido, the
content.
The content.
Yes.
This is the
Yes.
problem. Okay,
Right.
Manuel, we know that you transform your passion in words and the power of the words. We want to hear a little about your words, your passion, your material. Could you share with us?
Well,
Please, please. I promise to be quiet.
No, please interrupt me. Well, as I said, I started by telling stories, little comedic things to just make my friends and neighbors and my sisters laugh. I still do that. I love to make people laugh. I think that that joy brings us health, makes us feel so much better. But I started telling stories, and I was probably about 6 years old, maybe, when I was telling my neighborhood friends and two close neighbors from next door, Alfredo and Alejandro. They were sitting there, and they were grabbing their stomach, and don't tell anymore, don't say anymore. I can't stand it. That's laughing. It's laughing too much. Don't make me laugh anymore. I'm hurting. And I stopped and I'm looking at everyone. My sisters are all rolling on the ground laughing, and I'm thinking, I wonder if I can make them cry. So I changed my story from a comedy to a tragedy. And I was talking about a little rabbit that was having fun doing all kinds of things, and then accidentally gets run over. He gets killed, and they're all crying now. And I had this epiphany. I realized, I said, oh Lord, I can make them laugh and I can make them cry. Well, I have this power. I didn't know how else to explain it. I had this power. It wasn't until later that I realized it's un don, it's a gift. But it was at that moment that I realized that I wanted to continue that I wanted to please people and to touch their emotions in whatever ways necessary, to bring them into the worlds that I was creating, to help them be a part of it, and then to continue with their lives. So short stories for me are what is my passion. I love to tell short stories. Poetry came naturally, primarily, I believe, from listening to music, listening to the lyrics of music, and understanding how to phrase words, how to make them small, simple, but powerful, with meaning. And once I studied lyrics, I started looking at how these songs were written, and I've never been one that enjoys rhyming, but lyrics, most of them have to rhyme in songs to keep it flowing. And so I naturally started writing some rhyming poetry, but it didn't come out easily. I felt like I was forced to have to write rhymes. And so I just started writing my own way, allowing my inner voice to speak. So I would write things that came to my mind. I would see a pebble, a stone, and I would pick it up and I would ask it to tell me its story. Maybe a million years before, or 100,000 years before, you were a boulder, and now you've become this small pebble. So I tell the story of this small pebble and its life, its existence, and children hear these stories, that they see this and they read the poetry, and they can see that, they can see something like that, because they see themselves growing older, but instead of becoming smaller, they're growing growing larger.
Sure.
So it was again, just poetry just came naturally from telling the stories. And later on, in my early 20s, I became involved with a community theater in Germany, of all places. And I fell in love with theater. I just enjoyed everything, the live performances, all the work that it takes to create plays, not just from the writer, the playwright, but the design element, the lighting, the sound, how those have a huge impact in the emotions of people as they're watching live performances. And when you have characters, when you have people that can participate and create these characters and make them real, it was just such an emotional ride for me, and I enjoyed it so much that I decided I want to do theater. So I was involved in theater for 25 to 30 years, and I grew tired of repeating the same plays over and over. Everybody does the same things, right? It's community theater, everybody's doing someone else's work. And one day it occurred to me, I said, "You're a writer, Manuel, you're a writer. Why not write your own play? Do something new." And I did. And I wrote a play called Nuestras Vidas, my first full play, 4 acts. And it was very well received. I had standing room only for 6 nights, and it was fantastic. My actors, 90% of them had never acted before. I trained them. And so it was a fantastic, fantastic experience for a first-time playwright to have that type of experience and success. It's amazing. And so here I am. I've written more plays. I will hopefully in the future continue and do more of those as well. But I've been very happy that I can continue to write. And again, I feel like my short stories are my strength. That's my greatest passion. And because of it, I published, Blue Agave Imaginings. It's a book of short stories.
Beautiful, beautiful.
And I published it last year, and here's
the
ancient jaguar tile.
Yeah, I love the tower. I want your books, Manuel, because when I have the books here, I have the opportunity when I promote books for everybody. Certainly. I can show your books. Yeah.
Yes. Well, thank you. I didn't think about it, but I thought maybe you'd already have ordered them.
Yeah, I need to order too. Hey, Manuel, come on, share with me. Remember, I'm a volunteer in this.
That's right. You don't have to buy money. I'll donate them to the cause.
I deserve it.
Yes, you do. Like I said, I'll donate them to the cause.
Don't be codo.
No.
I'm just kidding.
They say that people from Monterrey, and my father's family's from Monterrey.
You're from Monterrey,
but I'm not from Monterrey. My father is.
I'm Lebanese. Lebanese are generous. Just kidding. I can buy it.
Yeah. No, it's just I was again very happy to have published these books, and I went from that to creating my own publishing company to help other writers make those dreams come true as well. And I just recently published a book for a young man named Johnny Torres, who's a Chicano activist. He's considered a Brown Beret. I'm not sure if you know the Brown Beret history, but it was a group that was created from Mexican Americans, decided to separate and create their own Chicano movement to say that Aztlán, which is this land that we're on now, that's called America, North America, Central America, that we were all one. It was one connected country. As you know, through history, Mexico ended up selling a lot of their lands to the United States government. And so the land that we're in, Texas, was Texas, the state of Texas, state of Tamaulipas. And it eventually became the state of Texas, and the Chicanos decided, they want to form their way of revolting against this supremacy, colonialism, if you will. And so they created this movement. And Johnny, his uncle was Jose Campos Torres. And if you know anything about Jose Campos Torres, he was murdered by 3 HPD, Houston Police Department officers in 1977. And he was beaten near death, and then he was thrown over the Main Street Bridge onto Buffalo Bayou, and they watched him drown. And he, of course, never met his uncle because he was born years later, and became an activist. And so because of his uncle's death, he's very passionate about the movement. And he's been writing poetry for years and years. And he approached me, asked if I would honor his wish to mentor him, which I did. And I was very honored to do so. Still doing so, thank you. So he brought me what he had. We reviewed his work. I agreed to edit his work to help him improve his work. It's fabulous, fantastic work that he's written. But as you know, most people don't know how to correct themselves. I find it hard to even edit my own work when I'm doing it. I would rather someone else edit it for me, because if I'm editing my own work, I'm going to make the same mistakes, right? But if someone with fresh eyes is looking at it, they're going to see the things that we miss for ourselves. So I helped him with the editing, and went on to publish his book. It's called The Revolutionary Diaries. It's available through Balampu Press, lulu.com. Under the title, you can look for it under his name, Johnny Torres, or The Revolutionary Diaries. And it's a passion now that I have. I'm creating a brand new model of publishing entirely. What I'm doing, if you will allow me a moment, is that what I do is, it's all self-publishing. We don't go to big corporations, because big corporations don't care about us anyway. They're more concerned with the millions of units than they are about content, like television, as we mentioned earlier. It doesn't matter how talented someone is. They're always looking for someone that's what they consider qualified because they were introduced to them by another major writer or a university or someone else with what they consider credibility. So they ignore us. They call self-publishing vanity publishing, which is an insult when you think of it, as though we're writing out of a form of vanity, that we're so vain that we all assume we can write. That's their way of looking at us. In other words, we're not necessary to them. And now I see it as they're not necessary to us. It's the reverse. We don't need them. So what I've done is I've created a model that I ask anyone who wishes to be published, seek me out. I will get them published at the best cost possible without them having to go to someone like lulu.com or Amazon and paying extras, hundreds of dollars for assistance in putting a book together that they're not familiar with and don't know how to do. We bypass all of that. I offer editing services. The only charges that I charge are for the editing. I don't charge them for the actual publishing of the book and all that. They just pay their minimum through whatever service they want to use. I guide them through the process. I have a layout artist, Janet Baxter, who's fantastic at what she does. She has helped me with all the books so far, and we made an agreement. As long as I can bring her more writers, she's going to charge a minimum charge, and we're going to publish as many writers as we can. Once they're established with their first book, we provide them access to whatever service they're using, and they have now got their own publishing source at a cheap rate and quality product. If you give me a moment.
I love that we had the opportunity to hear a little more about your work. Well, unfortunately, we don't have time for reading. We have time to finish your idea. Your idea, of course, we have just 3 minutes to say bye. Sure. But it's very important what you are doing, Manuel, because many people, they want to publish a book and they don't have idea how to do it. They think, and including me, it's so complicated, where I'm going to go, how much I'm going to pay. And thank you for giving us this.
We're avoiding the complications. We're making it easy. This is Johnny's book, Revolutionary Diaries. That's Johnny on the cover. And my publishing company is Balamku Press. And my only agreement with the writers that I publish is if they would just honor me with using my Balamku Press to get themselves through the process. And that's it. I'm not doing this to make money. I'm doing this because my dream was to help others, and I want to continue to do that.
Thank you. And please give us the information. Where can I find you in Facebook, media, email, wherever you want to share?
Thank you. Yes. Well, on Facebook, my full name, Manuel Nava Leal, N-A-V-A, Leal, L-E-A-L, Manuel Nava Leal. Also through Yahoo, mnavaleal@yahoo.com. And if I can give my phone number, I'd be glad to do that. It's 832-291-6654. Please text a message first because I have a blocker. I don't you call it and I don't know the numbers to the block it. Text me first.
Actually, he's not going to take phone calls. He's text first of all. And what? Yes. What I wanted to tell you something important. I forgot it. But you publish English and Spanish, right? Because thinking
any language.
Because thinking the auditorium that they don't speak English, they feel scared to contact somebody in English, and you can help them in Spanish, right?
I can help them in Spanish and English, yes.
Okay. Fantastic. Manuel, I can believe it. Time passed quickly. Like metaphoric, I said time fly. No, we say it in Spanish. El tiempo vuela. And I can't believe it. Thank you so much for being here. It's a shame that we didn't listen to the poems, but you can find the interviews of Manuel in different virtual book fairs in Spanish and in English. And I really appreciate that you be here. And thank you for all things you do to the community. And please send a special message to Houston Poetas Houston, because you are a very important part for us, and they are watching you.
Yes,
they were so excited.
Well, thank you to Poetas Houston and Libertad. Thank you so much. Los agradezco mucho. The virtual book fair to me is such a fantastic idea. I love it. Thank you for doing so.
Thank you. Thank you, my friend. Thank you so much, everybody. Don't go. I have more interviews, and I really appreciate Sandra Vasquez for this impeccable transmission.
Thank you, Sandra.
And thank you, my friend. Thank you, Manuel. Bye-bye.